build up every stone. I make it through sweat and bones. And when my hands are growing tired, I come alive. Kingdom, my kingdom, whoa. Kingdom, my kingdom, I come alive. Kingdom, my kingdom, whoa. Kingdom, my kingdom.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Today is a planning day. I'm going to start this in-floor heat project. Right now, I'm just trying to get a general idea on if I put my heating manifold right here on a wall that I'm going to build, can I get pipes, through my floor joists and into the bathroom area. The bathrooms are all above me, and it looks like I can. It's going to be really hard for me to show what I'm doing right now. So just trust that all day today, Saturday, all I'm doing is planning. It's hard to see. There's a screw sticking right there. Try to remember that. That screw that I just showed you is that one right there. So that works out pretty good. I'll be able to run my pipes up through here and get them right into this first bay. This is my drawing. This is the 10th time that I drew this out, just trying to plan my runs and about how far they're going to be. I bought a 3-loop manifold. One loop will do the laundry room and then the downstairs bathroom, and then the other loop will do the upstairs bathroom, which is a much bigger space. Those are my 2 loops, and then I'm going to have one more loop that I'm not using, and that would just be for future something, maybe. But yeah, that's it. I'm hoping that maybe as the project goes a little bit farther, it starts making more sense. But like I said, it's really hard for me to even to explain this stuff, but then to get a good camera shot, show you exactly what's going on, it's just really difficult. So I hope that you all understand that. One thing that I'm going to do is I'm drilling my holes to fit 5/8 inch pecs. I'm going to drill the holes so the 5/8 pecs fits in there tight, and then I'm going to put the 1/2 inch through it. That way my hot pecs is not going to be touching the wood. They make something like this, but they're pretty expensive, and I have a whole bunch of this 5/8 pecs laying around, so that's pretty simple. I'm going to go ahead and cut these. Really getting experimental here. My first run coming down from upstairs, I kind of wanted the hole to be just a little bent, a little angled, I guess, going through the subfloor. So I've got this all rigged up, and it makes it so I can kind of get in there and drill at a really interesting angle. It's working surprisingly well. I've got the bathroom all cleaned out. I need to plan where the tubing is going to go in this room, and as I said before, we're going to be running the tubing on top of the floor. All the research that I've looked at online says that's basically the best way to do in-floor heat, is to have it as close to your tile, I guess, as possible. So I've got here are some scrap pieces of 1/2-inch cement board. And what I'm going to be doing is the sandwich method. The sandwich method looks something like this. The PEX sticks up 1/8 of an inch over top of this 1/2-inch cement board. It's okay that it sticks up a little bit past, because on top of all this, I'll be putting my Ditra, and you have to put thin set down, and then your Ditra goes on top of that. The thin set is going to be at least 1/8 of an inch thick, and it will take up that gap. The Ditra will go down, and then my tile can go on the Ditra. And I think that's a really good way to do it. Pretty time consuming, obviously, but so now what I need to do is kind of figure out where my runs are going to go, and just to make sure that it's going to end where I need it to over there. Yeah, that's perfect. It'll go just like that, and then whoop, down 20, 30, 40. As you're well aware by now, I'm going to be putting the manifold here, and I'm hesitant to show how I'm going to do this because, one, I don't have a plan, and two, I think it's going to be hard to make this look really cool and really good. This is a pretty cold wall for us. As you can see, we've shot some spray foam into the holes where cold can get in, because this is an exposed basement wall on the outside. So I've wanted to insulate this for a while now, and the way I plan on doing it is cutting some of this 2-inch foam. I'm going to put it back there as best I can and as high as I can. I'm going to spray foam in between the sheets so I get like as good a seal as I can, and then I'm going to be studding a wall up. The wall will probably have to hang from my joists. I don't really want the wall touching the floor because the floor can take moisture on. It's possible. So I'm going to have the wall a little higher, just like I kind of did my boiler wall here. It's got very few contacts where it hits the floor. Well, that's that. Didn't show probably a lot of the process, but I think that's going to be a good spot for it. It's solid. I've got 4 inches of foam insulation behind it. The foam behind it's all spray foamed. I spray foamed any gaps. So it should be pretty insulated, actually. Way better than it ever was. So this corner should be a lot better than it has been in the past, as far as pipes and stuff freezing. But that's going to do it, I think, for me this week. Totally prepped and ready to go for in-floor heat. I believe the way it will work is I'll be able to set my manifold up, hook my manifolds to the 2 inlet and outlets from my boiler, and then I gotta run all my zones. I have 2 zones upstairs. Happy with it all. Kind of tired. It's been a long day. So I'm just going to get cleaned up here, head home. But yeah, so thanks for watching this week's episode. Next week, I plan on starting the in-floor heat project. I imagine that will take at least 2 weekends, I would assume. I would assume so, since I have no idea what I'm doing. But yeah, so thanks for watching. We'll see you all next time I turn the camera on. Little different type of video. Kind of an unboxing. See how that goes. So what all this is my in-floor heat stuff. I'm gonna open it real quick, kind of try to remember what I ordered, and hopefully it's all here. I know there's a couple things that I still need to order, funny things that I forgot. I'm gonna open this one first because I know what this is by the noise. This is what your PEX clicks into, and then you simply staple this to the underside of the floor. This aluminum, they call it an Omega style, where the PEX actually can snap right into it. Put that up against the floor and staple it. Then obviously that PEX is not coming out, but I expected that to snap in a little bit better than that. Next thing I got here is insulation. And I don't know if this is going to be enough, but it does call for special insulation when you're doing in-floor heat. I kind of feel like it's hocus pocus, but it's like, what, aluminum backed or something? Oh, thank you. And what I guess you put this about 2 inches away from your PEX, and it helps reflect the heat up. Not a lot of insulating factor with this bubble wrap stuff, but I guess the fact that it can reflect to the heat does something. So I bought, let's see here. This is 50 foot. So this is nowhere going to be near enough, but I wanted to get some to get me going. I thought these were kind of cool. They got a little spot in here where you can put a screw. It looks like a small-headed screw. Maybe a sheetrock screw would work, and then the PEX snaps in like that. And I just thought that was such a good way to secure your PEX. Get the PEX to take a 90-degree turn really well with these. That's awesome. And then what I like about these is they have this little thing here where you can screw that down to something. And then you know that's never going to move anywhere. That's holding your PEX in place well. Alright, this is the cool part. It's a stainless steel manifold. It's only for 3 loops. Each loop has a little balancer thing here. I don't know how any of this works. I've watched some videos and that's about it. And then these are your actuators where you can set your flow. The PEX goes into these parts here. So what I did here, because online people talk about how these things can fail and leak, same with these, they can fail. And I don't want to wake up in the middle of the night and have that happen. So what I did is I went and bought 2 extra of these extra actuators, just in case something like one of these goes bad. I guess in my head, now is the time, because I know that they go to this manifold. If they stop making this manifold, then I'll have parts for it. I won't have to like scour eBay for parts. This is a valve that goes on the end of the manifold so you can fill it or drain it. Bought an extra one of those. It's really not that expensive. Like each one of these pieces were like literally less than $5 each. Valves for the inlet and outlet. Each one has a little thermometer thing so you know the temperature. Nice quality ball valve. Really, really nice. I'm kind of looking forward to hooking it up. I bought what you call PEX, ALPEX. The AL stands for aluminum. I bought 300 feet of it, which is not, I need more. I didn't really know that I needed more until it was too late and I already ordered. So again, just like the insulation, I'll have to be making a second order from this company. But this will get me going, which is exciting. What I want to explain is I did some research on this. When you have in-floor heat, you want to have your PEX have an oxygen barrier. And that's for the obvious reason oxygen can't get into your system, because if that happens, it can ruin your boiler. PEX Alpex, what it is 3 layers of PEX. I'm not going to probably be able to show you this, but if you can see, can you see that? It's a layer of PEX, and then a very thin layer of aluminum, and then another layer of PEX. The aluminum is your oxygen barrier. The only other type of PEX you can get, it's called oxygen barrier PEX. And all that is like normal PEX with a spray on it. And that spray is what gives you your oxygen barrier. I didn't like the sound of that at all because, you know, you touch it. I would think that could rub off in time. I guess if it sits in the sun at all, it will deteriorate the oxygen barrier, and then, you know, your PEX is as good as nothing. I felt like going with the AL PEX was a way better bet. Alright, so for anybody that watched through that, thanks. As you can tell, I'm pretty excited to get this stuff, even though I'm dreading having to do the job. But it's kind of exciting to do something like this. It's just so different from what I'm used to with the house, you know. It kind of feels like a wiring project, but then
back to more mechanics.
Yeah, I like the mechanic side of it. Kind of excited to get this going. I might call in sick tomorrow.
Yeah.
No, I can't. I can't call in sick tomorrow. Thanks for watching. This is something to look forward to. I'm hoping that 2-3 weeks from now, this is all hooked up and our toesies are warmsies.
Cozies. Toesies or cozies?
Toesies are cozies? I don't think there's a right or wrong way to say that. Oh. Well, we'll see you all later.